What's going on, y'all? This your boy Casey for L Wrestling Taste, here to give you my honest review for NXT Wargames. Uh, Wargames. I feel like Wargames was an okay pay-per-view. Wasn't all that. Um, Now the Wargames matches was great, but everything in between. Mm, Let me go ahead and give you my review, and then I'll give you my final number grade for this show. We kicked the show off with the women's War Games match. Team Shotzi versus Team Candice. Since Shotzi and them won the briefcase, they got the advantage. So Dakota Kai and Ember Moon, they kicked off of the match. They started beating the break. They was beating the brakes off each other. Then Shotzi came up in there. Then next Raquel came up in there. Then after Raquel, Rhea came up in there. Then after Rhea, Toni Storm. Now then, as it was time for Io to come up in there, Raquel was doing everything in her power to keep her from getting in there. So then Candice got up in there. So then the ladies was trying to act like they was gonna win the match, but the match wasn't able to get started because Io wasn't in there yet. Remember, every member must be in there for the match to officially begin. So obviously it's like them just beating the brakes off each other till all 8 members are in there. So once she finally got in, she had a trash can. She actually put a trash can on her head, got on top of the cage, and jumped on top of everybody. So, like I said, the ladies were just beating the brakes off each other. It was a ladder that was right in between the ropes of both rings. You got Raquel and Io hanging off the top of the cage. I said, oh, you already know. Somebody going through that ladder. Sure enough, Raquel basically threw Io through the ladder and got the victory for Team Candice. Now, unfortunately, with what took place in this match, Candice already broke her arm, according to Triple H. So I believe Candice was next in line to beat Io, but I don't know if that's happening now, because she's going to be out of commission right now. So next we get to Tommaso Ciampa versus Timothy Thatcher. Y'all, let me be honest with you. I was not feeling this match at all. The dudes was beating the brakes off each other. Y'all, this was personally, I feel like Tommaso Ciampa. You know when somebody says, you say, hey, they overstayed their welcome, but I think a lot of that has to do with the man's injury, because he had injured his neck being called up before by Vince McMahon. Now I feel like he's just there to be there. It's like, what else are you going to do for Tommaso? What else? What else do you have for the man? Like, you really don't have nothing else. He pretty much need Timothy Thatcher inside his head, and I think that bust his eardrum over. Dude's ear was bleeding all over the place, and I was like, man, that's crazy. But like I said, dudes, they was hard hitting. They was beating the brakes off each other. But like I said, it is what it is, man. So after that, we move on to Dexter Lumis versus Cameron Grimes. This was a scrap match. Now, according to social media, wrestling Twitter, a lot of cats in the wrestling community was mixed on this. A lot of people said they thought this match was boring. You had others that said they thought this match was great. I'm in the people that thought it was a good match. I thought this was a pretty good match. I think the only reason why I feel like it was a good match is because of Cameron Grimes. Now, I think Cameron Grimes' gimmick is stupid. I'm not a fan of Cameron Grimes, but I can say this young man can wrestle his butt off. And I think him being able to do his gimmick and wrestle, and then you got Loomis, who is this just his character to me is weird. It's weird to try to describe Dexter Loomis. He seems like some type of weird. He seems like a pedophile that's in wrestling, that knows how to draw. He doesn't say nothing. He looks like he wants to rape you. He looks like a rapist. Like that's what his gimmick comes across as. It's like he just looks at you and just stares at you all day. Then he draws you up. Well, I think that's what made this match great. Now listen, I am not trying to disrespect the man. I'm not saying the man is a rapist or anything like that. But I just feel like his gimmick just comes across as this suspicious guy, just very suspicious. Don't say nothing, but he draws you up and he just stares in your soul. Just looks at you. Look weird as heck. Just got that weird look about him. Well, like I said, with him doing what he did, and then with Cameron Grimes running around here being all goofy and all that, it turned out to be a pretty decent match. Dexter Lumis gets the victory. I don't think the right man won. I think Cameron Grimes should have won this match because Cameron Grimes been losing day and day every pay-per-view he's been at. So we move on to that. We got a little silhouette of a returning superstar on his way back. There was this crow on a branch and it just kept crowing. The next thing you heard TikTok. I said, well, that means Karrion Kross is on his way back. And so we move on. Now, I got to go in. I said I was going to go in on this situation, this title match. The North American title was defended in a triple threat match between Damian Priest, Johnny Gargano, and the North American champion who shouldn't have had the title, Leon Ruffin. Let me tell y'all something, man. The only reason that man got that title is because Triple H and them have absolutely no idea what to do anymore. They just don't. And they love a lot of pandering. A whole lot of pandering took place when that man won that title. Leon Ruffin had no business winning the North American Championship. None whatsoever. But I'm trying to tell y'all right now, the reason why Leon Ruffin won that title is because Triple H said, you're going to be what ACH was supposed to be. And y'all know who ACH is. I'm not going to call him by his slave name that he had when he was in the WWE. It was in NXT. But Leon Ruffin is the same guy. He skins, he grins, he's smiling and all this. I'm like, man, it's what is with us and the smiling. That's it. Negroes be smiling all the time in this. I'm like, man, is there anything else that we skinning and grinning, the eyes buck? I'm like, who is this clown, man? I was like, this all it is. It's the clown gimmick. That's it. And the Leon Ruffin guy, man, this dude is a jobber. He's a joke. And this is what NXT sees him as. He's a joke, man. It's like I'm tired of the cats that look like me is always being presented as a freaking joke. I'm like, what's the point of us even being there if we're gonna be pushed like a freaking joke? It's not even worth it, man. It's like, what's the point of putting a title on us anyway if you're gonna just book us like clowns all the time? Anyway, this match had all kind of chaos going on. Johnny been having a whole lot of fools run around. If y'all remember the movie Scream, Ghostface mask. Well, he been having a whole lot of these clowns run around with Ghostface masks, and they really been bothering Damian Priest. Well, one of them really was messing with Damian Priest. He actually had some kind of weapon that whacked him in the back, his back. Oh yeah, and also prior to this match, Leon Ruffin went to the back because he technically had to be worked on. I say, you know how this stuff is. It's like gets taken to the back, and then 5-10 minutes later, he tried to come out there and try to, win the match. It wasn't successful. He comes back out, and one of the dudes in the Scream mask beat the brakes off of Damian Priest by whacking him in the back. My bad. I was about to call the slave name of ACH, Leon Ruffin. Leon Ruffin gets in the ring. Johnny Gargano does the move on him. 1, 2, 3. Johnny Gargano gets the North American Championship back and calls the man a joke. You shouldn't have won the title. That's because he's a joke. And it's unfortunate. It is unfortunate, but that's how it is, man. It's sad, but like I say, this is how it is, man. When you see the cats that look like me, we always being presented as a joke. You're never gonna catch us being presented serious, being a part of WWE. That's just facts. I'm just trying to tell you right now. So when you see somebody black, expect them to be a circus clown. That's all I gotta say. So moving on, we move to the main event, the men's War Games match. MVP of this match, Pat McAfee. For somebody who's not a wrestler, this dude is good. Let me tell you something. I'm tired of the predictability with them. I don't need to have these one-off matches where we have somebody try to get the advantage of the match and we're going into that on that pay-per-view the week of. I don't need to see it because all it does is tells me exactly who's going to win. When EO number one, when Shotzi got the briefcase, I said, well, that means the Team Candace got this on lock. When they won the briefcase for Team McAfee, I said, man, I was like, I was still thinking maybe Team McAfee and them got this on lock. Because I'm like, maybe one of the members of Undisputed Era is going to turn heel. Nope, didn't happen. It was predictability. Now, like I said, Pat McAfee and his squad, they was beating the brakes off of Cats. And the Undisputed Era was beating the brakes off of Cats too. We kicked the match off. Kyle O'Reilly and Pete Dunne, they kicked it off. Next thing you know, Olin Lurkin came in. Then after Olin Lurkin, Bobby Fish came in. Then after Bobby Fish, Danny Burch came in. And after Danny Burch, Pat McAfee was going to come in. But Roger Strong said, no, I'm going to go up in there. So he came in. Then after Roger Strong came up in there, that's when Pat McAfee came in there. Then after Pat McAfee came up in there, then Adam Cole came in there. Now, before Adam Cole showed up, Pat McAfee was pulling out all these Undisputed Era tables that had every member's name on it. So you had Bobby Fish's name on one. You had Kyle O'Reilly's name, Roger Strong, and Adam Cole. And I already knew every time when you set the tables out, more than likely you going through them tables and everything. Cass was going through everything in sight. They had chairs. They was beating the brakes off of everybody. Like I said, the match was good, but at the end of the day, Adam Cole and the crew got the victory. They won. Like I say, predictability. At this point, we don't need to have these get the advantage of matches no more. We don't. We just need to either just have the contract signing and call it a day. Contract signing and then do something like how we do with Elimination Chamber. And then the light can be going on every member in there, and then whenever the light stops on, that's the next one to come out. That's that, and you can pick and choose who to be, because the light can make it up. It's up to them. They can pick and choose. We don't need to have this who gets the advantage of, because to me, who takes advantage of, it's a waste of time. It is a waste of time for everybody. But at the end of the day, Undisputed wins. And what do I give this show? Normally, I give NXT pay-per-views a 7. This wasn't a 7. This pay-per-view was a 6. That's the highest I'm going because I'm being very, very generous. I'm not trying to be an unbiased guy because y'all know I'm AEW through and through. Everybody know this. But like I say, when I see something decent in NXT, I'm going to give it praise. The both males and females War Games matches was great. Do I think last year's was better? Absolutely. But like I said, at the end of the day, show was a 6 out of 10 for me. What do you guys think? Do you think the show was a whole lot better? You think I'm bugging about everything I said about Leon Ruffin, aka ACH Jr.? You do the math. You say what you got to say. I'll do my best to respond. Keep it respectful. Y'all know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe. Y'all know what to do. Follow me on Twitter at Beats2Blessing. You know, I'm KC for Air Wrestling Takes, aka Marcel on Twitter. This your boy. I'm out, man. I'll let me.